Hi guys, this is Tim at Fox English, and today I want to talk about a concept called finding your master. One of the first and I think most important steps in learning a language is cranking up your exposure. One of the easiest ways to do this is by listening as much as you can. And then you think, okay, so what's the best for listening? And I think the basic principle is, how do I want to sound when I speak? In language, you kind of are what you eat. And if you eat slow, predictable language, after a year or so, you're going to sound like a robot or an alien. And nobody wants that. So let's think about this in a different way. Who is the best at the language? Who stands at the pinnacle? As far as I can tell, there are three types of people. There are politicians, there are comedians, and of course actors. It's their job and they kind of have to speak well. Politicians speak clearly and powerfully. With some notable exceptions, they sound intelligent and convincing. Comedians are funny. They are generally pretty likable. Actors kind of span all emotions. You can find cool, you can find cute, you can find nerdy. You can find pretty much any character you want. Okay, and then you think, how do I want to sound? And for me, it's usually comedian. It's the obvious choice. But, if you want to sound like Audrey Hepburn, then listen to Audrey Hepburn. And if you want to sound like John Wayne, listen to John Wayne. So the next step is dialects. Does your L2 have dialectic differences? Japanese, Spanish, Arabic, they all kind of have these different dialects. And the cool thing about this kind of listening is you can kind of adopt one. You can choose a dialect that reflects your personality or just kind of your geographic needs. You might choose the dialect of the place you're going to visit next year. In Japanese, I chose Kansai dialect, and in Spanish, I chose Argentinian. And I know that some of you are thinking, but won't it sound like a fraud when I speak? Won't it sound fake? And the answer is yes, if you force it. If you allow it to build up naturally in your head through lots of listening, then you'll sound natural. Okay. So now we have all the information we need to go to the next stage, which is choosing a master. The point of this exercise is to find one individual, one person that you can emulate and adopt into your own language, not unlike you would with music practice or martial arts. So you find your master, you scour the internet. For me, it was looking for a Japanese Kansai comedian or Spanish Argentinian comedian. But for you, it will be different. YouTube is a great place to start. Grab the audio or videos and start building up a playlist. Otherwise, podcasts are perfect. If you can find your master speaking on a podcast, you're kind of home free. At the end of this, what you want is a playlist of MP3s or video files. And then the next step is to make sure that that list is easy to get to. Like really easy, like 1 or 2 or 3 clicks on your phone or your computer. Because if it's difficult to get at, you will not listen to it. You just won't. And then, of course, you just turn it on. You turn it on while you're brushing your teeth, while you're driving to work. You listen as much as you possibly can. And even if you don't understand at first, it doesn't really matter, because you're still getting used to the sounds and the rhythms of the language, if nothing else. This is kind of how you learn your first language. And of course, listening is only one part of study. It's overlooked and forgotten, but if you add it on top of your usual study routine, one day you'll understand 100% of what your master is saying. And then maybe you're in a bar and you overhear somebody say, "Wow, that guy really sounds like John Wayne." And inside, in your heart of hearts, you will think, "Thank you, John Wayne. Thank you."